Right, you're welcome to entertainment now. And one of the biggest stories has been trending. Miss G has joined me, Miss G. And one of the biggest stories that's been trending all day has to do with the allegations by former beauty queens and contestants in beauty queens that they were exploited.
Yeah.
Just
it's been trending all through the weekend. So for those who are not familiar with the story, so we had Stephanie Karikari come from Media Whiskey. They were the former organizers of Miss Ghana, and she was handed over to Inner Party's exclusive media. And so she was supposed to go to Miss World. According to Stephanie, she brought in Miss World. And so at that time when Miss World had come, she was supposed to take a picture with Miss World then for a magazine, for a billboard. And she, according to her, she was told by Inner Party that she was too ugly, in quote, to take a picture with, to have a picture on the billboard. But what's strange about that is that, according to Ina's outfit, she went on to have her picture on a magazine that represents Miss Ghana 2012, because after her, we didn't have Miss Ghana in 2011. And so she carried her crown through 2010, 2011 till 2012. And then also we have Gusipina, who also alleges that, Ina's outfit is fraud. And the kind of things that they were asked to do was to raise money. She was asked to raise $10,000 monthly for a project that was supposed to take place in the northern region. And she tried, she says she calls herself the best fundraiser, for Miss Ghana. And she says she raised that amount, but what she was given was 1,000 CDs. Okay, she was supposed to raise 10,000 Ghana CDs. Okay. So she was given 1,000 CDs when she raised the money. And that project that was supposed to take place in the northern region never took place. Then we have the latest queen. The latest is Margaret Derry. But before Margaret Derry, we had Kemevo, Antoinette Delali Kemevo, and she was Miss Ghana 2015. In 2016, we didn't have a Miss Ghana. Okay. So she also was Miss Ghana 2015 until 2017 when we had Miss Ghana again. And she says that according to her, she was taken out late to go meet a certain big man somewhere in Accra, and she was told to be nice to this big man when they got there.
Nice and sweet, I hear.
Exactly. And whilst they were having the conversation, she said she was tired and she wanted to go home and rest. And the big man said, "I thought you were spending the night." That's what she says. But Ina's outfit is yet to respond, because today she said she was given an exclusive to an Accra-based radio station. I monitored. She didn't turn up. All the other people, the PR for the organization, that's Media Exclusive Tender. But also the exclusive we have that actually accentuates the story and gives it more credence is lawyer Kojogan Adaudu telling us that he handled one of the clients. He says he's handled 4 ex-beauty queens, but one of them was a client, was one for Miss Ghana, and he tells us what actually happened, how Ina sees the lady's car and was asking her to perform certain duties, seize her passport and all that.
I think for Ina, I handled one. I handled one of the things. I think most of the things they are saying, these are the same things that came to me, and they have refused to have given the vehicle that the person had won.
What did the contract state? The contract states?
Yes, the contract states that you will be given this. Now, when they are given the contract, they don't even allow them to read. There and there, they are just giving the document, sign it. You don't have opportunity to give it to your lawyer, give it to anybody to read. So at the end of the day, even if you ask them for a copy of the contract, you are not given.
Now, in this particular case, how did he end?
This was somebody who was keeping some of the documents, and when I think they won...
She was lucky enough to have some of the documents.
Yeah, she had some documents. We looked at the contract. It was fairly badly crafted, but we said yes. So far as the whole world has been made...
she had signed already.
She had signed. Even she just went there whilst they were, engaging. They said, "Oh, this is a document signed, and says when I win, I'll do a project." And this. So it came to a time she has to do all that, and they kept shifting the goalposts. You haven't done this, so we'll strip off the title from you. We'll give it to another person, the first runner-up or the second runner-up. And the person had also asked that, "Then give me my vehicle, let me walk away. If you want to strip off, let me have it." And she's like, "I won't give you the vehicle because the vehicle was bought by me." And I was like, "You bought by you?" When he had sponsors, So we wrote to the sponsors and said they should give us the documents covering the said vehicle so that we can register it in the name of the person who owned. It was when the sponsor wrote back to the Miss Ghana to find out that we had threatened to take them on that I think the issue was resolved. You had to make the documents available and the person had to take the vehicle.
Conversations you've had with your clients, has it come up in any of the conversations that they were asked to go, sleep with big men in coats to bring money and all that? Did that come up in any of the conversations?
Really, they don't put it blunt. They don't put it blunt. It will be like you have to go to visit the sponsors. The sponsors have to you have to make sure that you garner some support, some money, so you are, chaperone to meet some of these so-called big men or people who are your fans. I believe it is when they don't see you doing such a bidding that they get agitated and say, we will strip you off, because it gives me the impression they're also using it as an opportunity to make money or to build some relationship with these so-called sponsors.
Now, people have stated, some of the pageants have stated that, especially the Miss Ghana 2010, if she had her own way, she would let Miss Ghana be stripped of exclusive media in this outfit. Now, for you as a lawyer who has dealt directly with a case that had to do with her, looking at the things that she has done or she did in that case, do you think that, maybe her outfit should be looked at properly and what she does must be looked at again?
I don't think I want to personalize it. Yeah, I think some of the things done, we should have the tourism ministry of the creative arts look at it so that they set standard rules as to the way going forward. Because some of the things that are done by the organizers, you have no idea.
Amazingly, this year's was in partnership with governments. This year's Miss Ghana was Miss Ghana at 60, and it was in partnership with governments.
Not to... Really, when I saw it, I think I was watching telly one of the days when I saw that this was going to be in partnership of Ghana. I'm a lawyer. Lawyer, you are not supposed to speak and say anything that you do with your client. But I had some reservation. I was like, wow.
The winner at the moment, Margaret Derry, we are told, the speculations that she's still not had her car, she's frustrated and all that, because, this was in partnership with government. What would you advise be done?
I think, to be very blunt, is that she should look at her contract. If it was announced publicly that she's won that, she should make a request for her vehicle, for her price, because they tell you, well, it's supposed to be on the night that you win, you are crowned, you are given this. So if you are not given, you have your right, exercise your right. Go to court. Ask for, if you demand and you are not given, go to court.
Some sponsors pulled out prior to the events. It could have been the reason she's not been able to provide the car and all the other things.
So why was the announcement made? This was a contract. It was based on this, that the offer was made. You accepted the offer, you went in. The consideration that you have to do is the performance. So you have performed. They need to perform their part. Take them on.
Well, so clearly, I'm sure this is going to go on for a while, but it will be interesting to hear what Ina
has to say. And also the other queens. We have 2012 who made it to the 3rd position at Miss World Shooter, now currently Shooter. We haven't heard from her. So, but let me let you know that Miss Ghana 2015 was stripped of her position. We've been told severally that it's because she's in school. So she's one of the people who spoke, and that's Kemevo. And it actually happens that she had to part ways because of the car incident, and it's not because she's in school. But quickly before I go, let me just tell you that Worship Above Reason took place over the weekend at the Spinks's Road, the Action Chapel, and I don't know if we can take that story, but if we can, let's see exclusives from that event.
Last Friday, Ireva Consult, in partnership with Event Factory, Footprint TV, organized the first edition of the Worship Above Reason concert, where some of the top-notch gospel artists in Ghana mounted one stage to worship above reason at the New Dome Action Chapel International on the Spintox Road. Despite certain hitches, including late start and low patronage, artists took to the stage, defying all odds, and performed to the enjoyment of the audience. Francis Amo, Patience Nyako, Kwesi Otain, Yao Sapong, DSP Kofi Sapong were among several performers of the night. Obapa Christie, Joyce Blessing, and Sisi Chum were amongst the artists who were not perturbed about the numbers. According to them, where two or more are gathered, God is in their midst. By God's grace, everything was fine. Not at all. Bible says, wherever two or more are gathered in my name, I am there. Even if it was just one person, would still praise the Lord.
Well, that's the spirit.
Worship above reason. So that will be it for entertainment, Israel.
All right, thank you very much, Miss G.